Hi everyone, back again. I decided today that since I'm so sick of the lockdowns and border closures and that, I just needed to get out in the bush for a few hours this morning. So I don't have any purpose in mind. I just want to look around, see what's flowering, just have a walk around and let you tag along. This year I really wanted to get out to Mount Monster, which is a little hill in the middle of cropping country out near Keith in South Australia. But with the border closures I couldn't get there this year. But in September every year, not sure about this year since the weather's been so strange, but that little hill of native bush is the most amazing thing you could ever see. If you ever get out there and you have an interest in native orchids, Australian native orchids, it's really worth a drive. How can I explain it? It has the the widest range of native ground orchids I have ever seen in a small area anywhere in my whole life. Just about every step you take, you see a new species, new colours. They're just everywhere. There's a clearing about 3/4 of an acre wide, and instead of grass in that clearing, it is just a solid mat of spider orchids of all different colours. It's really worth a drive out there if you're anywhere near southern South Australia or Western District of Victoria. It's worth a drive to go to Mount Monster. But anyway, so we're not there today, but it is September. I have noticed as I've driven up this track in the bush here that there are a lot of orchids out, as well as some other flowers. So we'll just take a walk, have a look and see what we can see. Okay, now before we start I need to tell you that over the years, even though I used to know them, I have forgotten most of the botanical names and even a lot of the common names of the plants and flowers. I just look at them now, I don't care about the names, but there you have it. So right off the bat, as we're walking, let's see, I can see some of these blue-purple orchids. Oh, there's a white one. I wonder, see it here? Let's see. This bush around my place, my area, contains lots of native orchids. So there's a few. This is a very common type. Let's see, get it in frame, come on. It's really hard to see because native orchids are mostly very small. But they're pretty. They're all around here. I'm not sure if you can see. There's a little white. I'm going to have to get better at focusing in on these flowers. We've had a bit of rain, so they're wet. But anyway, we will walk around a bit more and see if we can find some donkey orchids or some of the others. I can see lots of leaves of other species here on the ground. Oh, here's a whole mat of those little purple-pink orchids, as well as some other flowers. I wonder if you can see them on camera. Bit difficult. Anyway, I'll try and find some other orchids as well to show you, but they're just so pretty and delicate. So let's have a wander through here if I can find a way to get around. Oh, here's another type. Another very, very common one. It's a very small pink one. I wonder if I can get this to focus. They're just so dainty. Oops. I hope we can find some other species around here. Oh, it's nice, the sun's coming out now. There's a few other flowers here. Not sure of the types, of the names, of course. It's a pretty pink climber, or rambler. Oh, I might just turn off the camera until we find another type of orchid. I'm sure you can't pick them up on camera, but there's those purple blue orchids are here everywhere. Okay, I've just come across a ground heath. Still don't recognise the name, but this one has, there are a few different ones that have edible fruits. This one is a yellow or creamy coloured flowered one, and there's also a red one that has delicious fruits, although the seed is big so there's not much flesh around it. But when the fruits are ripe, you actually pick up the leaves and the fruits are underneath the prickly leaves. So they're away from most animals that want to eat them. They're mostly eaten by ants, I imagine. But yeah, you can see the flowers have dropped off now, so they've been pollinated and they'll start making fruits soon. Okay, and here's a billy buttons. I'm growing those in my a lot of people grow them to sell to florists, and I'm growing a heap in my flower farm this year. They're quite cute and they dry really well. Okay. Oh, damn. I've forgotten the name of this plant here. It's quite a prickly plant. It's just another Australian native, of course, because we're in the bush. Anyway, so we'll keep looking. Okay, I've just noticed a little green hood here. The earliest orchids that come out are the green hoods and the little orchids that are named after insects, like the mosquito orchid and gnat orchids. They don't look like much, but they're still fascinating. But let's have a look at these green hoods that are still out. Let's see. See, they don't really look like orchids to people who are used to seeing the types of orchids you see in florists and garden centres and stuff, but they're just interesting. Orchids come in so many different shapes and sizes. I mean, all the ones here are the small ground orchids, but still they're so fascinating and dainty. Okay, so that's them. Rightio, now I've found a late gnat orchid. I think it's a gnat, could be a mosquito. But anyway, I'm going to try and get it on camera. It's a bit difficult because they're brown and little and they don't look like orchids, but let's have a go. Whoops, come on. There they are. These usually come out first with the green hoods. But they have these well, most native orchids in Australia, the ground orchids, most of the year they're just flat leaves on the ground, or sometimes some strappy grass like leaves, but that's just how they look. Okay, so that's another little orchid we've found today. At this time of year, orchids are everywhere in the bush. I just wish we could find some of the more flashy types, but still, these are quite nice too. As I showed you earlier, these are those little purple ones. All of our native ground orchids have edible pea-sized tubers too, but they're difficult to dig out, so I don't really, and illegal to dig in the bush, but in case you ever needed to, they are edible. Oh, and here's another couple of green hoods. See, a lot of our orchids just don't look like orchids, but they're cute anyway. We'll do a little bit more walking, and if we can't find any of the donkey orchids, which I really wanted to see today, we might go somewhere else and see if I can find them somewhere else. Oh, look what I found. A little bat that's got caught on a plant and died. Oh, is he dead? Oh, he's not dead. He's just sleeping for the day. You don't usually see them sleeping on plants, but you usually see them under the bark of trees, loose bark and hollows. But I have to admit, this little fella doesn't look too crash hot, so I wonder. No, I think he's oops, out of frame there. I think he's just sleeping. So we'll leave him be. Well, there we are. That's the end of our little walk today. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't see any lizards or snakes or echidnas, but it was a nice day for a walk anyway, and it was really good to get out of the house. So I will see you next time. Bye.